Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to On Point, the number one Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on any smart device at David G. Evans, the number one. David G. Evans, the numeral one. We're so glad you joined us again. Please like and subscribe to us and hit that notification button so that other broadcasts will you'll be notified about them as soon as they happen. We try to drop a lot of stuff on around this conversation, and we would like for you to be a part of this ever-growing conversation that we have every week here at David G. Evans 1. We talk about sports, we talk about culture, but of course, faith. Every national, international, local happening in our listeners' lives and in our viewers' lives. We talk about them, but always from a kingdom perspective, giving it a biblical foundation and a biblically centered answer. So we'd love to hear from you today. You can call us toll-free from anywhere around the world. The number is 866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. I would love to hear from our Facebook followers. I'd love to hear from our LinkedIn followers. We're looking forward to seeing many of you next week. Those of you that are internationally locked out, some of you will not be able to come to the convocation that begins on Wednesday the 26th until Friday the 28th as Power of God relaunches once again, first time since COVID began. And we're looking forward to 3 powerful days of ministry, music, and our schools of excellence, ministry excellence, will be open for 3 days. You have a chance to matriculate pastors and executive pastors, assistant pastors, those that assist the pastors, men, women, deacons, creative fine arts, all levels. We're looking forward to a tremendous time. Men's ministry, women's ministry, children's ministry, you name it. There will be instruction for you and your staff and those that volunteer to help you fulfill your mandate and your mission in God's house and in God's ministry. Our phone number is once again 866-743-8267, 866-743-8267, toll free, 866-74-EVANS. Give us a call. Of course, joining us once again is my world famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas A. Smith.
Good morning.
The A is for anointed. How you doing this morning?
Okay. How you doing?
Yeah, man.
We here.
Got to do it.
You got to do what you got to do.
Got to do it, man.
I understand.
I'm so glad that we didn't jump back in this thing with 6 nights and 5 days, man.
I'm still trying to mentally prepare my mind.
Yeah, because I don't. It was amazing that when we started talking about doing it, resurrecting, not resurrecting. We started about doing it again. I didn't realize how much of a weight those 6 nights, powerful.
Yeah.
6 nights, 5 days. Yep. Us on 10 every day, all day long. No sleep, entertaining everyone like we do traditionally. And then the prospect of just jumping back in at 6 nights and 5 days was daunting.
Yeah.
It just felt like it was going to be too much.
Yeah. 3 days feels a little daunting sometimes.
Yeah, but I think it'll be a good way. And the changes, I think, just in the morning worship and leading into classes and then time of fellowship and lunch and then come back for one more class and come back for general session and then our main service at night. I think it's going to work out really well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like riding a bike. Once it starts, muscle memory kick in.
Oh, yeah.
And
I went out, me and the kids went out to get my props yesterday for my classes, so took a little searching, but we were able to find it. I don't go to Walmart that much, but they were a big help yesterday.
They had some stuff,
they were a big help yesterday.
Hey, go back in that section.
Yeah, that and the farmer's market in Berlin.
Yeah, because a lot of the big box stores are closing all over.
Yeah.
It's hard to find stuff.
Yeah.
Because Dick's Sporting Goods probably has some stuff too if you didn't
I'm sure, but I got it all. I think I got enough stuff.
Okay.
The fishing rod, I might just, I might end up trying to use that. They got something called an ugly stick. It's just it's a fishing rod. It's only about this long.
Yeah.
It's a nice piece of work.
That'll work. Yeah, that's old school. Yeah.
They found some nets and stuff, man. It's gonna be pretty cool. Got me a baseball bat and some gloves and some balls.
Okay.
home run hitters.
Okay.
Couldn't find a baseball shirt though. I don't know where to go. I guess I would have to go to one of them.
You can go to Dick's. They have a bunch of them there.
Okay. I'll try to get one today, maybe.
Yeah.
So, a lot going on. What's wrong with Clarence Thomas? Does he have to just... So, is he so firmly embedded with the gun lobby that he can't think of how he should protect people? And he's the only one that upheld, that was dissenting against a gun ban for domestic abusers?
Yeah, he claimed there was no precedent before. Well, set the precedent then.
What's that got to do with it?
You can't go back to 60, 70 years ago. Look, it was legal for them to lynch people at a certain point in time. You can't...
Somebody who takes him on vacation didn't like the idea.
Yeah,
that's what happened. That's unfortunate.
I know. I mean, you have to be... some people just have to be rebellious.
I'm not even sure he's rebellious. I think he's just psychotic.
Okay.
That's... But something else, that the opposite of this whole Clarence Thomas premise. So Denver gives 800 homeless people $1,000 a month as a test project. Close to 50% of the people now have housing, and the state saved over $500,000 in services.
It's the second place to do that. Something like this. Utah did something.
Okay.
And of course, they found that once you help people out, housing.
Most of them just need a hand.
Most of them just need a hand. And the state saved money in both cases because they don't have to shell out services for stuff. I mean, who would have thought that if you actually help people, it would help the economy, it would help the community, it would help the individual?
The only reason you wouldn't do that is because you just don't care.
Yeah. I mean,
but in some of my contemporaries would call this socialism. So was Jesus a socialist?
That's the thing. Well, the reasoning for that, Jesus was working basically, quote unquote, as Christians, as church, not government. So Christians were supposed to have this social side, but the government isn't supposed to.
But the government knows full well Christians and churches can help. They can't bear the burden. They don't have the budget for that.
These are other Christians saying this, though.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
Because they're stupid.
Yeah.
The budgets. People have conversations with all these platitudes about what the church should do. But if you ask the next level question, okay, where's the funding going to come from? And, if you want the church to do it, then budget for it.
Yeah.
But I remember when I went to D.C., my lobbyist at the time, Dr. Pierre, had me meet up with several people that are responsible for partnering with faith-based organizations. And I think I went to 3 meetings that day in D.C. We went to 3 meetings, and one after the other, we were told that there was no money. So at the 3rd meeting, I'd finally had enough, and I said, wait a minute. Your information says you've got X amount of dollars allocated. And he said, yeah, I know, but it was mostly conversation. Guy admitted to me it was conversation, and it was a way to satisfy the evangelicals at the time. So there was, you go down there, you go to a meeting thinking, okay, we can take this $1 million, we can do this. He had no money, had no right to ask for it. The office itself was a sham. Minimally furnished, maybe a lamp in the corner. I mean, it was like out of a movie. And I'm like, this office doesn't look like. It was in a row house somewhere. I'm like, wow.
Because my thing is, if we can...
And that was under Bush.
That was under Bush. I remember that faith-based initiative.
Yeah.
If we can bail out wealthy people, wealthy corporations, corporate socialism has been going on forever. And let's not talk about, the churches that may waste the money. How many corporations have they given loads of money to? It went to bonuses to the executives.
Absolutely.
It didn't help the corporation out.
Absolutely.
I'm like, so don't give me that.
You know, just partner up with some people who are going to do what they say they're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But who would have thought, again, helping people? Like, some people don't want to be homeless, you know?
No,
I mean, like, come on, y'all.
We have politicians who claim to be strong Christians,
Yeah.
who just have either snatched those pages out of their Bibles, or they've turned them in some way. That homeless people really aren't homely, hungry people really aren't hungry. You know, those that are in trouble really aren't in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. In the program, it's not like they're giving them $1,000 a month for the rest of their life. It's just to help for like a year or some change, just to get started.
Yeah.
Because again, if I don't have an address, I can't get a job.
That's right.
So,
It makes sense.
like, come on, y'all.
You know, and Jesus in his conversation never asked these people, you should have known better. He never said that to them.
Yeah.
He just said, you know, you're here, you have the ability to help, create a cycle where it delivers people. That's all.
Yeah. And some people, they just fell on bad times. It happens. You know, one guy I was reading about, I think, like, he just lost his job, couldn't find another one that was paying enough. So he's living out of his car because he had to pay his car payment. That's the only place he could afford.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, he got family, you know.
Doesn't make any sense.
But to me, now, help me out here. It seems like to me we're okay with the bare minimum with people.
Yes.
So just give them food. That's it. And the rest is on them. And we think we did something. I'm talking about those people who just want to just do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Not those who want to do more and can't. But that's the vibe I get from a lot of these corporations, government, social agencies.
Well, I think you're right. They have to be able to say they're doing something. They're not really committed to transformation.
Right.
They're just committed to addressing the issue.
Yes.
And, you know, we are a nation who loves gestures.
Yes.
You know, I just find it difficult that we are not progressing, and that we have certain groups of people in the country that don't think help is legitimate until they're in trouble. It still just bothers me at a very fundamental level.
Yep.
So why would the Senate block? Well, I'm going to answer my own question by asking a question. Why would the Senate block an ethics code for Supreme Court justices? Because they know they're going to be unethical.
Yeah. Yep.
And they probably have been unethical this whole time. And it's really not a Supreme Court.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And again, if I'm in the dirt, I don't want to expose anybody else's dirt. Let's
Right.
keep it all.
Yeah, but they ought to take the robe off and put some sequin gowns on and put some wigs on so they can be the singing group.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court is supposed to set the standard. But I don't know if you started reading that Project 2025 thing.
It was
yet.
on my list. Yes.
Brother.
Okay.
They got some heinous plans,
I believe it.
you know, and they're changing. They literally want to change. They want to. You'll see the plan. They want to abolish every agency that we know we need. DOJ, you name it.
Yeah.
They want to get rid of all that and give the president the ability to make the decisions on if somebody gets not guilty. Basically, they want to give him the power to say no,
Yeah.
reverse the decision.
You know what's crazy? That group, they love talking about the founding fathers,
Yeah.
the Constitution,
Yeah, talk about
how we started it. But the whole point of starting the presidential, the legislative, the judicial, was so that the president wouldn't have all that much power.
Yeah, I know.
So how you talking all that, and then
because they need somebody in that's going
Yeah.
to do what they want to do.
yeah, and they're afraid that the country's changing,
Well, it is.
and they want to hold on to power as much as they can.
Yeah, but you're going to put a lunatic in office so you can get it done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Until he turns on them, and then
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. How? Now, we don't get into this much. And I need my people from Florida, our people from Florida to call. How do you take some books out and then you want to leave that slavery was a benefit to who?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in the words of Jasmine Crockett, if it's that beneficial, why don't you take one of your own children, put them in chains, and see how they like it?
Yep.
And see how you like it for them.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then it would not be a good thing. It wouldn't have benefit to them.
Yep.
Because the chains would be the focus,
Mm-hmm.
not whether they were getting 2 meals a day.
Yep.
Like most people feed their animals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Because they got this whole thing, and this is what gets me about this view. Well, they learn service work like, farming and cattle and blah, 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 assuming that black people didn't know how to do that before slavery.
Yeah, I know.
But it's that thought process of
Yeah, I know.
we taught them how to,
Anything to justify what was wrong.
how to be successful in America.
Well, wait a minute. So South Carolina is removing AP African American Studies from its schools.
An elective course, or you got to be at a certain place to take it.
But how does that happen? Well, the governor and the politicians have to be behind that. For that to happen.
Yeah. But I think all that Project 25 you're talking about and all these other things,
Mhm.
all this is
Yeah,
all connected together.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
Because in there they're talking about books. In there they're talking about, for the Republicans that I know have always been screaming, government's too big, shouldn't be in your business at a base level.
Yep.
But now, how do you get to tell grown folk condoms should be against
Yep.
the law?
Mm-hmm.
So contraception.
Yep.
And it's people don't understand it's moving that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like they don't use them too.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, but they got that thing, women barefoot pregnant,
Okay.
and God didn't want these contraceptives. Like, come on, y'all.
Is that why? So they're not afraid of losing the women vote.
Because they're trying to reestablish that white man, because they feel like they're the oppressed group of the country now.
Yeah, but there's 7 women to every 1 male, at least.
I know.
So I mean, who's driving the bus?
It's all about control.
It's like this. How do you decide? And I'm a senior citizen. Am I going to vote for somebody who's trying to banish my Social Security? Then why do senior citizens do that?
Yeah. They're single issue voter.
Yeah, but if the check stops coming,
I know. But we've had people say they knew Trump being in office hurt them, and they said they'd still vote for him again, as long as he made these people get in line. I'm financially impacted, but he's making these NFL players not kneel for the national anthem.
how short-sighted can you be? I'm going to take money out of your pocket, out of your fixed income.
Yeah.
Okay. And I use the word fixed. So I've got a fixed income. You take a check away from me every month because we want to kill that. We actually want to get rid of Medicaid too so the insurance companies can make more money. And all of a sudden, you're okay with that? And they're directly coming after your segment of the population?
Yeah.
But you taught me something. You said people vote against their best interests.
all the time. Because if you get these gays under control, get these black colors under control, that's how they do it.
Okay.
Get these minorities under control.
Then we'll take whatever
If you
else
can
you
do that, we'll take whatever. And then, blame the government. It was never me.
Yeah.
They're all like, well, I didn't know he would do, like when Trump got elected.
When he said he was going to do it, why do you say you
Thank
didn't
you.
know?
I didn't know he was going to be this bad. Like, he showed you who he was for like a year.
But you know what? A friend of mine who passed away, I had a conversation with him. It was very cordial. And I asked him, I said, well, what do you think of this guy? And he said, oh, that's just campaign talk. And then I called him 6 months later. And he said, man, this guy's crazy. I said, but you said it was, he said, no one thought he was going to do all this. They thought he was just running his mouth.
But people kept trying to tell him over and over again.
But they were ignoring the crowd he was stirring.
Yep.
Because I told you, man, I started getting texts from overseas on election night.
Yeah.
Simply saying, what are you guys doing over there?
Right. Yep. Yeah. Shoot, we couldn't believe it.
You know, folks stayed home from the poll because they didn't like Hillary. They stayed home from the poll because they didn't like X. Come on.
Yeah.
So you like this guy?
Yeah. And some of the ones I got beef with the most in that election were those Democrats who were encouraging people not to vote for Hillary Clinton, but spent 4 years complaining about Trump. And then still trying to justify it. Well, I still was right about not voting.
No, you can't be right.
You can't have it.
You can't be right. House is on fire, but you're still right.
Right. Like, come on.
Ridiculous. 866-743-8267. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. Live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Any smart device at David G. Evans 1. Won't you do us a favor? Share the content. Share the conversation. Like us. Subscribe to us. Hit that notification button. You don't want to miss one of these conversations. We have Tom from Fort Lauderdale. We've got Scott from Vineland. We've got Danny from Lauderhill, Florida. Let's go to Tom. Good morning, Tom. How you doing?
Good morning, Bishop. How you doing, Pastor
Hey,
Nick?
Tom.
Doing good to hear
You
your
guys-
voice, man. You doing all right?
Oh yeah, a little hot down here, but other than that, we're doing okay.
Yeah, we have the same thing going on up here today. We're in the 90s.
Oh boy, you were talking about our ex-president and people knowing and seeing something that now. I have to set this up first. Politics down here in South Florida are different than the rest of the country.
Okay.
There's a huge sign down in Miami of Trump, which some Democrats put up, comparing him to Castro. Do you know these Cubans about lost their mind, considering that they would dare call him a communist or a dictator?
Really?
Like it's out of the question. No way would he want to be a dictator. Like January 6th didn't happen, but it's like it was a big news issue down here because once the sign went up, right on 95,
Okay.
huge poster, Trump just like Castro, and it's down now.
They took it down?
Yeah, but it got backlash like you wouldn't believe from the Cuban community. But even during the Hillary time frame, I remember thinking, they're not pumping any money in here, and Trump was down here. If I had to look at somebody who was selling himself, he was, I hate to say he was on target about anything, but he was on target about South Florida.
Wow.
He was in here doing his thing, and you know what? Even with Hillary, I remember going to work, and the road shut down. I'm like, oh, there's Hillary's coming in, going to one of the major churches here, and that was 2 or 3 days before the election.
Okay.
Like, just too late.
Yeah, I had a conversation with a group of politicians because at one point, New Jersey was considered Democratic. And I thought I was having a fundamental conversation with Mrs. Clinton's team when I said, well, I need you to explain something to me. If everything's all right here, why have we had a Republican governor for the past so many years? And they just looked at me. And you guys aren't making any sense. Are you trying to lose this thing over here? I said the same thing to the former governor. Man, it was crazy.
Yeah, Chris Christie did 2 terms.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were talking about, oh, no, it's a Democratic state. Well, you got a Republican governor, so something's going on.
Yeah. And that's where people said she was going to Pittsburgh. This is a part of her team fault. She was going to Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. Trump was going through Scranton, Lancaster, all in between. And that's how he won Pennsylvania. They took it for granted. I think they thought it would never happen.
Well, I know they thought because, quote unquote, Democrats. But I don't want to be redundant, but you can't say we're all Democrat if you had a Republican governor say them for 2 terms. Where does that come from? And who's driving the bus in their planning and strategy meetings?
Yeah.
We just ignore the fact that there's a Republican governor, and we don't have to go there because the people are going to come out. Well, they came out before. That's why he's in office.
Yeah. I think their assumption was New Jersey's always going in a presidential election, Democrat. But the tides are slowly.
As soon as Christie got elected, I said, okay, something is happening fundamentally. I told Corzine's team. I told Hillary's team. It was almost like I was whistling in the wind.
Yeah.
You guys got a problem down here. Well, you know that. No, we have a Republican governor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Twice.
They assume Delaware to Massachusetts will always be Democrat.
No.
Well, actually, hire Maine. Yeah.
You can't ignore it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tom, you doing all right, man?
Oh, yeah. I got to leave with this. Doing Power of God when I was up there working in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I used to love being a flower on the wall in your office. In that back room. It's small that you would Pastor Nick walking out with your head between your legs, tired.
Doc, beat up, man.
Oh.
Beat up. Beat up. But the people were happy.
Yeah.
It was good time. Good time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're looking forward to it.
Yep.
Only 3 days this time, though.
Oh, well, hey, you guys will beat after 5, so I'm pretty sure you're looking forward to it this time.
Absolutely. Talk to you soon, man.
All right, take
See you,
care.
Tom.
Bye-bye. 866-743-8267, 867-843-8267. Let's go to Scott from Vineland, New Jersey. Hey, Scott, how you doing this morning?
Bishop Evans,
Scott.
Pastor Nick, what's going on?
Hey, man, how are you?
Good. Just a little bit of overtime. I looked at the clock. I said, let me dip away and take a little break and call the fellas. Once again, I enjoy talking to you guys. And,
Yeah, man.
Appreciate what you do every Saturday. Real quick, I got to get back on Mr. Trump. Do you think what Mr. Biden did with the legal, I won't say legal, with the immigration, giving them money will hurt him in the polls? I've heard a lot of people, chattering, oh, that's not, they didn't like what he did. Bottom line, think it'll hurt him when it comes time to the polls?
Well, no, this morning or last night, Fox got in a little trouble with him because their poll showed him 2 points ahead of Biden. And I believe it has to be two things, the immigration piece and Trump getting convicted. I believe that he can't win in their minds. You guys play basketball. Are moving picks still illegal?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're dealing with is a moving pick. So, all right, he was doing nothing, criticizing. He did something that they weren't willing to do, still not enough. So they didn't want it to happen at all. And they knew that it was going to be one of those platform issues that were going to give him a boost. The other thing is I just think they keep making mistakes with women.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they're trying real hard for white women to come out and say, no, we're not going to let you do this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because now you can't get artificially inseminated. That's what they don't want that. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're telling you can't get contraception.
Yeah.
Yep.
And some of them white women are going along with it. They're like, yes, and
Yeah, we're rolling right along
but
with Pastor
again,
Nick.
until it's them and people they're connected to,
Yeah.
then
That's
all
a
of a sudden it's
different
different.
Yep. It becomes a problem.
Totally different
When
story.
it becomes personal. When it's purely observational, there's no compassion at all.
Yep.
Yep. And I'm wondering who Mr. Trump is going to pick for his running mate. That's the other question.
Well, it's not those two minstrels that keep on keep auditioning. It ain't gonna happen. They can forget it.
Yeah, especially Mr. Uncle Tom. I forgot the brother's name,
Scott.
You got Scott
Yeah,
and
he
you got
can-
Donaldson.
Yeah.
They can audition all day long. It's not going to be them.
nope.
It's not going to be.
Nope.
It's not going to be them. Let me tell you something. It's not going to be those two guys, even though they're auditioning every time they get a chance. It's not going to do them a bit of good. They're using them for faces. That's all,
Yep.
and for voices. Because if this black guy thinks this, there must be other black men that think that too. Okay, so and he's not going to get anybody that's any more photogenic than he is.
No. You got to be the show.
You're going to
Top
have to be
star.
You're going to have to be worn out looking, and no charisma at all.
Yep.
He's not picking anybody that can make a difference.
Yep.
So all these guys that are they're getting all their skin buffed up and all that kind of stuff. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. And like I keep saying, you guys keep looking at me strange, but the swimsuit competition up there outside the court, when all of them came dressed alike, that to me was like one of Miss America swimsuit competitions.
Yep.
They just sat out there and posed and answered the questions and then nothing.
Unbelievable. As you would say, bitch, I'm going to steal your saying. It's not making any sense.
No, man. Come on.
That's all I have. Leon send his love. I got to go by his mother's house tomorrow and check on her. And
how's she doing?
Leon's doing good. Leon. He told me to send his love, but he'll be back up soon. But I'm gonna go check on her, me and I tomorrow.
I thought he was supposed to come see me the last time he was up here.
I'll tell you about that when I give you a call.
All right, man. All right.
Love you guys.
Just tell him I said hi. Bye-bye.
I will. God bless.
Bye-bye. 866-743-8267. We're going to Danny. Danny in Lauderhill, Florida. Hey, man.
Bishop, how you doing? Pastor Nick,
Hey.
Staff, how y'all doing today?
We're better now that we hear your voice.
Okay, all right. I have a couple of things that I'd just like to go ahead and talk about. And things that happen is that we don't take advantage of certain things that are said that we know that are not true, and we have to point them out while they're happening so that we can go forward. Remember it was said there's no such thing as global warming?
Oh, man, come on. Yeah.
They need to drive that point now. Look what's happening all over the United States.
It's all over the world too.
It's all over the world.
They said the Muslims that are going to I don't want to pronounce it wrong, when they go walk around the thing.
Yeah.
They said about 1,000 of them have died on their pilgrimage to do that.
From the heat?
Yeah, from the heat. Yeah. People passing out on the way there and doing all that, and it's global.
Going to Mecca, you mean?
Yeah, Mecca, that Hajj, that thing, that part, yeah.
And then where you can really drive that point home is in areas and states where you have power outages, so you can have no air conditioning or anything like that.
You know what's really weird, though, Dan? I'm not sure that the average working person, and I'm ready to be corrected on this, I'm not sure the average working person is that overly concerned about climate change, because it gets too hot, you can go in the house and turn the air on. It gets too cold, you can go in the house and turn the heat on. But I think the things that are connected to the impact of global warming, I think is not really, I don't want to say unimportant, but it doesn't seem to be as important as it actually is, because I'm not sure a lot of us are environmentalists.
No.
Okay.
It once it negatively hits us, then all of a sudden we're like, okay, cool.
Yeah. So the grid would have to go down for a week, and then somebody would have to say this because the weather's changing. And oh.
Yeah. It's like us going to down south. The air quality is so much cleaner, and as soon as you arrive back in Philadelphia, everything is.
Have you ever noticed that?
Yes, it is horrible. It is horrible.
I remember I went to a meeting in Wisconsin in the wintertime. And I would go walking and praying every morning, talking to the Lord, how we do. So about 2 days in, without even thinking about it, I start singing this song. I'm out walking by myself. Every note in my range was back.
Yeah.
My voice was crystal clear. I'm like, yo, what is this? So my coworkers didn't know I was in the choir. So they're like, who's that singing outside? And they look like, Dave, was that you? Yeah. Okay, so I'm in the car coming back. I get to Newark. By the time I got to choir rehearsal in Sharon Hill, my head was hurting. My voice was hoarse. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. And that was the first time I saw a drastic change. I started feeling it coming through New York. And man, I hit Jersey, North Jersey, and was like, what the heck happened? Because I was all excited about getting the choir rehearsal. I had on my range.
Right. But the air quality is different. And there's pollution and all that stuff has to do.
Absolutely true.
We were talking about the rainwater a couple months ago. You said before you always drink the rainwater, but now.
Back in the day.
Yeah, now.
My great-grandmother used to wash her hair. She used to collect it out back in a barrel. And they would wash their hair in the rainwater. You can't do that now.
Nope.
They would cook with it.
Yeah.
Can't do that now.
Mm-mm.
What is happening to us?
One other thing I like to say before I get off
Okay.
is remind Pastor Nick something that you said years ago.
Mhm.
You were right on point with it, and that was going back to the bank bailouts.
Yep.
Pastor Nick questioned, why are they giving the money to the banks? Give it to the people
Mhm.
so that they can go ahead and use it. They didn't want to do that. They said that the people would misuse the money.
Okay.
If they misused it, it would be up to them. But what happened? The banks took the money. They did not give it to the people. They foreclosed on the property anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Turned around and sold the property, made billions of dollars.
Absolutely, it did.
Like, what if they just simply, instead of giving money directly to the bank,
Mm-hmm.
and says, okay, you got these X amount of people in foreclosure. Part of this bailout process is we'll pay off what they owe in the past. Not, they're
Right,
still responsible
right,
for their mortgage,
Right.
but start them over. They don't want to do that because, again, there's
Exactly.
no money in. But we talked about it. They let them homes foreclose. They sat on them. And when that market went back up,
Boom.
business and government are,
Long range planning, man.
yeah. they don't care about us.
So Dan, is anybody saying anything about this? The Florida Board of Education has voted to keep teaching the benefits of slavery and social studies.
That's the problem, is that things happen and they just will not challenge anything, or it's like they're afraid to say anything. Nobody wants to come to the forefront to say anything because they feel that they might be a target of from their media standpoint. And just like we had the flooding and what have you, how did that just go away in one day? Nobody's talking about it. What about the poor people who are trying to recover from that? They're still in homes that have, there's a lot of mildew and they're going to get sick and stuff like that. Nobody's addressing that.
Well, I mean, from knowing you, we've had the privilege of knowing you for a number of years now. It appears as though that Florida has figured out that the people that don't agree are going to scream for a day or two, and then they're going to shut up. That's what it
No,
looks like.
What's actually happening is that there's a fear factor. No one is going in. They say, well, they're going to say this about me or this and that and what have you. So they're like afraid to say anything. Because right now, we are just, in my neighborhood, we're just recovering from storms that happened 3 years ago.
Wow.
And then the thing about it, the people that live east of me, they just moved back into their homes, and they were flooded again last week. And they can't get insurance.
It's amazing to me. I know a couple of my friends in New Orleans, and there are still neighborhoods that have not been revitalized from Katrina. I find that to be amazing. But I also know that I've got friends in Boston and Cherry Hill, New Jersey, that the same thing happened. It'd be fixed now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, please. It been fixed last week. Shoot. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Good to hear from you, Danny. How's my sister doing?
Blessed and highly favored. baby.
Oh, Lord.
Sir.
Tell her I said hello, please.
Yeah. And what I'm going to plan, what happened was we had certain issues that we had to get done with the home. If it wasn't for that, we would be joining you with the upcoming event.
I was looking for you.
I know. We want to be there in the worst way, I'll tell you.
Well, there'll be another chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk
All
to you
right.
soon. Join us
Thank you
online.
again.
Tell some people about it, man.
Yep.
We'll do.
All right.
Be blessed. man.
Bye-bye now.
All right. Mhm.
866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call and talk show in America. Live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time now. Any smart device, at David G. Evans, the #1. At David G. Evans, the #1. We've got Castonia from Malton, New Jersey. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you for calling On Point.
Is this Bishop?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Bishop. This is Castonia. How are you?
I recognize the name. How you doing?
Good. I was calling to talk about a Social Security Fairness Act that's in Congress and the Senate.
Tell us about it.
It's like I worked for the government, and I was under the old civil service plan.
Mm-hmm.
So if I worked out, and we didn't pay Social Security. So if we worked other jobs outside of like in the private sector,
Mm-hmm.
and paid into Social Security, you got penalized. They like took almost your whole Social Security pension.
Really?
Yes, because it's called windfall elimination provision, and they take your money away.
Windfall elimination provision.
Yes, and it's called WEP, windfall elimination provision.
Really?
Yes, and so now they're trying to repeal that, so that way the people will get their Social Security from working in other jobs. Like I've had 20-something years paying into Social Security.
And they
And
windfall.
if they don't pass this bill, I'll get like probably $75 out of 1,000 and something.
Wow.
So they're trying to repeal it. This bill came out in the 80s. I mean, the 80s is when they did this thing, when I first started working for the government.
Now, who's trying to repeal it?
The Congress and the Senate. They're trying to repeal it so we can get our money.
So is
It
this
affects
a
teachers.
Republican thing, Democrat
both.
thing? It's both?
It's both sides of the aisle.
But why would they want? I don't get how you decide to take away something that somebody has worked for years. I don't.
I know.
It doesn't make any. Here I go again. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
So and how does, say, for a teacher?
Yes.
Say you retire from the government, you work for a school board for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, up to now, you're not allowed to get any of that money because you didn't pay any in Social Security. So what are they doing? Taking it and doing what with it?
They're not giving it to you because I guess they said your pension is so much higher, that you don't need it. I don't know why they made the bill, but that's when they did it.
Well, wait a minute. What
When I
are
was
they
a
going to do with the money?
Who knows? But we won't get it if they don't pass this bill.
That's cold, man.
They reimbursing somebody.
Somebody's, yeah.
And some it affects some like spouses. Like if your husband passes away,
Yeah.
you can't collect his money. It's a snowball effect.
They are cold, man.
But I wonder, say if I'm a senator.
Mhm.
I've been a senator for 40 years.
Mhm.
I don't pay Social Security?
I didn't pay Social Security out of the government job I had. I was
Okay.
under the old civil service retirement plan,
Okay.
and we didn't pay Social Security. But my pension is like over $6,000 a month.
Okay.
So I guess they figured that's enough. you know, you're not getting any more.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
But if they pass this, then I'll get all of my money.
How's it looking?
It's looking good because I'll get like $1,600 if I wait till I'm 67. I don't want to collect it now because I'm working other jobs,
Sure.
and I don't want to get penalized.
Hmm. So what happens when lost my train of thought for a minute. I'm flabbergasted by this. So but you know what? There was a time in New Jersey when Christie actually took people's pension money to do what he wanted to do,
Well,
and folk voted for him anyway.
mm,
I don't.
Yeah. So Congress and they do pay into Social Security. Congress, President, and Vice President pay into it.
They pay into Social Security.
Yeah.
Okay. But
anybody
government
that's
employees
new
don't.
Now they changed the retirement plan. It's instead of CSRS, it's called FERS, which
Okay.
is a new plan. They pay into Social Security. But when that came out, they asked us did we want to change over to FERS, and I was like, no, because I don't know what it is. But
Right.
their pension is lower than my pension.
Wow.
So it's like non-covered workers don't pay Social Security.
Right, but I have outside work,
But those
20-something
will cover
years
you.
of
Okay.
into Social Security that I'm paying.
But it still goes back to the people that have the best salaries,
Mm-hmm.
the best medical insurance,
Mhm.
the best all that stuff are making decisions about
People that don't have as much as they do.
And we're paying for all the stuff for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our taxes are paying them.
Yes.
Yes. Like now I have my medical
That's-
insurance because I retired at 59, so I can't get Medicare yet. But I pay like over $1,000 a month for my medical insurance to keep my medical insurance.
Sure. That Cobra bites.
Yeah. That's
Well,
a
no,
lot.
I could carry my medical from the government.
Okay.
But
Okay.
they just take it out of my pension.
At $1,000 a month.
That's a lot.
Yep.
Jeez.
You can get lower plans, but you know
You have to have good. You have to have good
Yeah.
coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Thanks for sharing that with
So I
us.
just wanted to share it. It's in Congress and Senate now, and it's a lot of the unions because I'm in the union.
Okay.
They're all fighting for it, so
Wow.
we can get our money.
Now, do you have any other fellow employees that worked the same amount of time you did that are that are they having anxiety about this also?
They probably don't know.
What do you mean they don't know?
People don't follow this stuff, like they don't pay attention. I'm
Okay.
just sitting and waiting. I watch it every day to see what's going on.
Okay.
Because when I get 67, that's when I'm going to do my Social Security because I'm working outside jobs.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but now I understand there's no limit on what you can make as well as receive Social Security as
When
long
you get 67.
when you get
don't
67.
Okay.
So you can make all the money you want to make, but you have to
Yep.
get 67.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, but if you retire earlier than that, they take money from you. It reduces your Social Security, right?
Yes.
Yeah, if you retire, yeah.
Wow. Who's? I'm asking. I know you're not the expert, Castoni, but I got to ask
I
you.
might know enough to help. I follow my money.
How do you work your entire life,
Mm-hmm.
build your Social Security, then they get to tell you how much money you can make on top of that after you've earned it
Yes.
for 40 years?
Yes.
How do they get to tell you that?
Well, if they made a bill in the 80s, when I first started, they made that bill.
But whose benefit is that?
Yep. Yeah.
Not me.
No.
Because watch what happens. So I make more money. I can participate in the marketplace more than I could before.
Mm-hmm.
I can become a viable part of the marketplace. So is there some unspoken desire to keep senior citizens struggling for the rest of their lives? What is this?
I think there was a time, if I remember correctly, Castone, you may know this better than me. There was a time where seniors were retiring earlier, and they had a bunch of them, so they had to pay all this money out quicker than they thought they would.
Okay.
So now I guess they may be trying to find some way to.
Because you can retire at what age now? 59?
I retired at 59 from the government because I had almost 41 years. I started in 12th grade. I'm serious. It was supposed to be
I
a
believe
three-month
you.
job,
Yeah.
and it turned into almost 41 years.
You know what? But when you talk to people now, you don't hear of many people working that long on a single job.
It was different jobs, but it was
Still for the
federal
government. Sure.
Like I was in California. You could move anywhere in the United States and overseas, like a military base, and your time could keep going.
Yeah. Well, that was some great information,
That was.
Castone. Keep us up to date on what's happening with that, so other
Yeah.
listeners can also take note, because a lot of people just don't know, and we think we're up on a lot of things, but obviously something that's critical. Social Security. We have a lot of seniors in our church,
Yes.
and this is excellent information to know, because I'm surprised this morning.
Yeah.
Yes. It's called
Yeah.
Social Security Fairness Act.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Castone. Bye
Thank
bye
you.
now.
Y'all have a blessed day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
866-743-8267. I have, it feels un-American to me to threaten the existence of people who have tried to be productive for 40 years, accumulated whatever they can accumulate, and Social Security, as a rule, is not something that's going to put you in a higher income class.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you got to watch every dime. But then you're going to make me wait from 59 to 67 before I can go and get a real job where it doesn't, where you don't take away Social Security because I'm making X amount of dollars. It makes no sense. So I retire, you give me money, but if I see I need more money, I go get a job, and you're going to reduce or take away my Social Security. What kind of crap is that?
After you took it from my paycheck all those years.
Come on, man.
They don't want to pay it out. They hoping either you gonna die before you need it or whatever.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So you have seniors, all this calculates together. Taking their medicine every other day, living in situations they shouldn't live in, which is another reason I know it was God when we built that house back there. I know it was God.
Yeah.
Because people live longer back there. They don't have to worry about break-ins. I mean, all that stuff is not happening. So, but it just, why the attack on the people that basically help build the nation's economy?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, we're a country of platitudes. We've always found a way as a country to take stuff from people.
Yep. And make you feel nice
and
about
make
it.
you feel nice about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. Like you work at, like you said, you work at a job for forever, and they give you a watch, and that's it, and just go on about your way, and just
A watch.
yeah, just
A watch. Not even a Rolex,
yeah,
just a watch.
just a regular watch.
Not a watch you could like go down the street. You want to buy this?
Yeah,
Go to the jewelry store. Yo, yeah, I'll give you 30 grand for that. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's a different. That's
So
a
I
different
can,
thing.
yeah, but it's not even that kind of, no, Timex.
Timex, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're in the upper echelon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They might give you the one with the hat with the moon on it, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of the name of the watch this morning. But I believe politicians get old. But they're not concerned because I don't know a politician that comes out of that position who's not a millionaire.
Yep.
Except politicians of color.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
It doesn't affect them.
Wow. I'm still amazed that people would try to legislate wiping out the CARE Act and take health care away from 30 million people. What kind of nonsense is
Yeah.
that?
Yep. It was the who that brought it.
Yeah. So, Willie Mays
Yeah.
passes away at age 93. Did you ever get a chance to watch him play ball?
I watched clips of him.
Unbelievable.
The catch, all that
That
stuff.
one over,
yeah.
that one over his shoulder.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
The man was moving up field, man. I mean, really, he was tearing.
Yeah.
And then just to,
I didn't realize how big he was. They
Yeah.
showed a video of him on the street playing with some people. And I'm like, this man was towering
oh
over
yeah,
people.
man. Willie Mays wasn't.
I mean,
he wa-
Stack just.
Yes, sir. He was a man.
It's like, jeez.
He was a man.
Yeah.
93.
Yeah. Did you see the Reggie Jackson clip? I'll send it to you if you didn't see it.
Wait a minute.
They did the Negro League thing in Alabama.
What did he say?
He was talking about, it went back to this field in Alabama he used to play at, and how it gave him some bad memories,
Okay.
bad feelings because of all the racism and stuff. So he
Okay.
went through his process of what it was like being black and playing ball then.
Okay.
It was something. He kept it. It was like on ESPN, I think. He kept it a buck. He was honest, straight up about going places where they wouldn't feed him.
Yeah.
Hotels.
Yeah.
I mean, he even cussed on there. He was, but you can feel the intent. I think this is the thing that gets me about people. This all ties in.
Yeah.
We got people who've lived through the civil rights movement that are still alive, and they're
Yep.
acting like it was 500 years ago. Like,
That makes no sense to me. So you have people that we're denying our own history. And we'd rather believe someone who did not live during that time, did not have that same experience. We'd rather invalidate them just so we don't have to deal with or feel more acceptable to people that oppress other people. It doesn't make sense to me. I can still see, to this moment, while we're talking about it, the rest stop was colored green with the colored and the white signs over, the colored fountain and the white fountain. And the colored fountain, the white fountain drained into it. I can still see it today.
yeah.
And when we stopped, I almost went in the wrong door. My uncle had to yell, no, Greg, no. Other side, son, other side.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why I have to go in there? Because I'm from Philly at this
Yeah,
point. You know,
yeah.
it's still some racism, but not like
Nah,
that.
yeah.
And then I go to use the water fountain. I look up. I'm like, yo, these are connected. So I backed up.
Yeah. Like,
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Uncle Junior said, you're not thirsty? Yeah, I'm thirsty, but I ain't drinking out of that.
yeah, no. The stories are amazing because they have some of the Negro League players that are still alive. They're doing a bunch of interviews now since they're doing the whole piece. It's just amazing hearing their stories. Even those who had to travel by Green Book and the gas stations you couldn't go to. And
Absolutely. One of our closest friends was one of the well-known catchers.
Okay.
His last name was Cash. They called him Ready Cash because he was such a good catcher. And his wife and my mom were very, very good friends. His wife used to do my mom's hair.
Okay.
So, of course, I go to the shop, pick him up, man.
Yeah.
Just ask him one question.
Yeah.
And Deacon Cash would start talking,
Talking,
man. And him and Satchel Paige,
Yeah.
all those guys, it was when he was in there.
Okay.
And it was an amazing legacy to hear, you know. And then to hear my grandfather's stuff about it.
Yeah.
And they still had strong feelings about white people.
Yeah.
because they had strong feelings about what they had been through.
And you can hear that in Reggie Jackson. He was still,
Yeah.
like, when you go there, he said, it's hard for me to come here somewhat.
Wow.
And I was like, but again, it just shows how our experiences in life, you know, they're not, it's not easy to navigate through certain processes.
The same one that Clarence Thomas tries to ignore,
Yeah, I know.
even though he lived it,
I know.
and it caused him to hate himself. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man,
Yeah,
we're
we'll
running
see.
out of time, man. We got some tremendous things going on this week, you all. You have to make up your mind to be with us. Of course, tomorrow. Is that Father's Day tomorrow?
No, Fridays was last week.
Yeah, I thought so. Father's Day was last week.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the old. Oh, no.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay, so anyway, tomorrow we're having service. 8 is our virtual service. 11 o'clock is our live service here. We're in a powerful series focused on the Holy Spirit called Unlimited You. We're in the witchcraft section now that, you know, you can't talk about the Holy Spirit and not talk about the unholy. So we're in the witchcraft part of the series. We're looking forward to another great day in the Word, people getting saved, lives being transformed. This week, Power of God 2024, Power of God starts all over again. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night, the 26th, the 27th, 28th of this month. Got some tremendous speakers come. Our schools of excellence are open in the morning. Classes from 10 to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You don't want to miss one moment of Power of God 2024. You can register online. I advise that you do so. Registrations are going very rapidly. We're really blessed by what the response people are having. But we need you to be here and celebrate with us. We've got great musical guests. You can go online at BBC of NJ and see all what's going on. You can see the curriculums. You can register and register for your classes, or you can do it live when you come here. But don't wait, because a lot of people wait and then they're kind of upset because they're registered, but they're not sitting where they want to sit. We have to be fair to everyone, but we need you to get on board. If you want to take classes, you've got to register. We're looking forward to great worship services every single night. We are not having noonday or midweek service this week because of Power of God. So we want you to remember now, when you come, you're coming out to service. We've got a 6 o'clock general session, and then 7:30, 7:45 begins our night service. You don't want to miss either one of those. If you need some updates, some inspiration, you can BBC Elevate. You can text BBC Elevate to 28950. That's for inspiration, need an uplifting message. If you just need to know what's going on, BBC News, you can text that to 28950. We love to hear from you, love to see you. Now, we want to pray with you, but we need you to let us know what you need us to pray about. Send your prayer request to social@gotobethany.com so we can put you on the altar with all the other concerns. Subscribe to David G. Evans 1 and BBC of NJ, BBC of NJ on YouTube, and also subscribe to DGEMS, DGEMS, and the On Point podcast platforms. For Pastor Nicholas Smith, I'm Bishop David G. Evans. Stay strong, stay safe. Remember, faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. God bless you. And I'll see you next time on On Point.